Some days gone by, the Browns of today will never say die. They'll win it with offense, they'll win it with D. And Super Bowl bound is what we will be.
Hi, I'm Mark.
And I'm Joey.
And we are the hosts of Next Year's Now, a Cleveland Browns fan podcast by fans for fans.
Rally back and tie the game, and we're going to go to overtime. Listen to Cleveland Stadium.
Here come the Browns. Onward to victory. Here come the Browns. Here come the Browns. The number one Browns. The pride of Cleveland. Cleveland Browns. Here come the Browns.
Next Year's Now is brought to you by the Moorhead clan. Visit us at nextyearsnow.podbean.com. Feel free to leave your comments and ideas. We love to engage with fellow fans. Just remember to keep it respectful, as this is a family enterprise.
Indeed, a family enterprise. It is Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to you, Joey.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to you, too.
And happy Thanksgiving to all of our listeners. This is our Thanksgiving episode. It's our regular weekly episode, but we're going to just give it a little bit of a turkey twist. And anyway, not much news of the week. We're going to jump right in with that. Terrence Money Mitchell has been designated to return from IR. So we're going to be getting our other starting quarterback opposite Denzel Ward back. Not this week. The Browns had to designate him so that he will be eligible to come back. I believe it's week 14. So we're still a couple weeks away, but he's now allowed to practice with the team. So he'll be getting back into the groove, fresh legs, ready to go. Our defense is going to take a major swing upward here right when the going gets real tough down this stretch that could be very interesting, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Any other news this week?
No, I don't have any.
Nothing major. We're going to go into our good, bad, and the ugly segment for no reason, because actually we don't have a good, bad, and ugly because we didn't have a game last week.
No.
So I'm going to say that the good of that was
We didn't lose.
that we didn't lose. The bad is that we didn't win. And the ugly is that I thought we would have a good, the bad, and the ugly segment here because we're just kind of flying by the seat of our pants.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we are moving on to our heroes, which this week, instead of a hero, and we're not going to have a goat, okay? You have a turkey?
I do.
Okay,
Yeah.
you have a turkey. Gobble, gobble. Okay. We're going to go with the guys that we are most thankful for instead of a hero. And we're going to go with a turkey for the people that, are obvious turkeys. All right. My hero, my guy I'm most thankful for, would be Baker Mayfield. And I like yours better than mine, because if it weren't for yours, Baker Mayfield wouldn't be here. But Baker Mayfield, obviously, I'm so thankful to finally have a franchise quarterback.
Right.
Dude's the real deal. So, Baker Mayfield.
I've got John Dorsey. He has brought this team from nothing to very average team in less than a season, which is amazing. So, yeah, John Dorsey and Baker Mayfield.
The future's very, very bright. And I'm thankful for that. Our turkeys. Well, I didn't really have one. So I'm going to go ahead and let you do that. And I will think of one while you do that. Go ahead.
Okay. My turkey is Tyrod Taylor. He did nothing good for us until Baker Mayfield came in, except for letting Baker Mayfield sit on the bench, which we're not really thankful for now that we know he is the real deal. So, yeah.
Wow, that's pretty harsh.
Yeah.
That's laying a lot on the feet of Tyrod Taylor. He never even had a chance to prove that he was any good. You did say Tyrod, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking for sure you were going to say Hugh Jackson was your turkey.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No, he was easy.
Well, then it's easy for me to say Hugh.
Yeah.
I mean, Hugh Jackson, clearly a turkey. We're already 1-1 without him. I mean, it took us, how many seasons, how long to get a win under Hugh? We're already 1-1 without the guy. So, well, Hugh's an obvious turkey. I was going to say Adam Schefter for tweeting out, the bit of news about Condoleezza Rice this past weekend. I suppose there's some news that this past weekend, the rumor of Condoleezza Rice being considered as the head coach for the Browns. It's ridiculous that Adam Schefter even reported that is astounding to me. He is one of the best, most in-tune reporters there is. No doubt. And that is not a conversation happening. She has no coaching experience at any level of football whatsoever. And this is a ridiculous thing. It's one thing to say, we're going to consider a woman. And, there are a couple of assistant coaches out there in the NFL that are females. Okay. Let them work their ways up the ranks. I have no problem with that. Bill Belichick never played football at any level. And he's a great coach, one of the greatest of all time, if not the greatest. Paul Brown is still the greatest, but even Bill Belichick will tell you that. So, yeah, I was going to say Schefter for reporting something so clueless. But he obviously got it from somewhere. I would love to know where he got that. Anyway, I don't know. I'm going to go with Schefter over Hugh. So those are our turkeys. I know this is a little loosey-goosey here, but we're flying by the seat of our pants, like I said. We're not going to go over head coach tracker stuff. I will say that Tony Grossi stole our idea, and he put out his first head coach tracker column this week, and we are thinking of suing him soon.
Yeah, so we put copyright on that, and we knew he'd do it, but we did it first, so he can't do that. So. But we can look down at his and think about how much ours is so much more original.
Yeah, all joking aside, we are not suing Tony Grossi, and we did not put a copyright thing on it, but
but we should have.
we saw it coming, didn't we? We did
did.
We had to beat him to it, and at least we did get it out there that we were going to do a head coaching tracker before he released his. I will say, after reading his, I was very unimpressed with his list. Really unimpressed. I know you probably didn't see it yet. It came out a few days ago. Yeah, there's some guys on there that we would have spoken about and that we will speak about on our list. But there's some guys on there, too, that I'm like, where did he get this guy? Forget that. It's not happening. And his rankings, I think, are crazy, too. So anyway, we'll see. It'll be interesting. Maybe what we'll do going forward is we'll compare his with ours. And we'll see how that goes. All right, we are moving on to our preview. The Browns do have a game this week. They are playing against the Bengals. And I would gladly forego a turkey dinner today if we could feast on some tiger. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Speaking of tigers, the Massillon Tiger football team, high school football team, is in the state semifinals this week. We're rooting for them. And Hoban is in the other state semi for Division II. And certainly we're rooting for them so that we can have a sweet state championship between the Massillon Tigers and Hoban, the Hoban Knights. And, of course, we will be rooting very much for Massillon to win its first state championship in ages. Hoban, one of those Catholic schools that recruits and allegedly and pulls in a bunch of talent, and the administration looks the other way when their kids do some really nasty stuff at school. Why? Because it's a Catholic school, and that's what Catholic schools do, and I say that as a devout Catholic myself. Too bad for that. But no surprise there. That's what you get with Catholic high schools, and we will be rooting for Massillon on that count as well. Go Tigers, home of Paul Brown Stadium.
Oh, yeah.
So we're talking about the Bengals this week. We have the team named after Paul Brown going up against the team founded by and owned by Paul Brown and now his son Mike Brown. The Battle of Ohio. We love this matchup. It's going to be a battle. And we got our clocks cleaned last year twice by the Bengals, and that's embarrassing. That made me sick to my stomach. We went to one of those games. We had an awful episode afterward.
That was, I remember,
most depressing of all episodes.
I remember also last year when we did the Thanksgiving episode, we kept hearing the ding from your phone, from your colleagues at work, kept saying Happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Oh, my goodness.
Can't believe that was a year ago.
And I'm thankful that we have moved on from those dark days, because things are looking so bright now. In this game, our offense against their defense. Your thoughts?
I think I'm going to give this one to our offense, because after seeing what we did last week, we had that fun, like you could see, I said this last week, you could see everyone was having fun on the field, and with the formation we had, all of it was just working. And I think if we do that again this week, do a couple things that Hugh won't see coming, I think our offense will have this one.
I like our offense in this matchup too. The Bengals are the worst ranked team on defense, allowing more yards than any other team in the NFL to opposing offenses. They are doing terrible against opposing quarterbacks, and Mayfield is just heating up right now. And this is a good time to catch the Bengals. I know that they brought Hugh in to help with the defense. I think that works in our favor. So, help is in quotation marks.
Oh, yes.
I'm loving that. I agree with you. We will have some wrinkles that Hugh is, surely not prepared for, that the Bengals are not prepared for, based on the intel they're getting from Hugh Jackson and from the tape. Not to mention, Freddie Kitchens is only in his third week as offensive coordinator. Everything he does is not out there yet.
Right, he could do anything.
Yeah. Our defense against their offense.
I think this one is more closely decided. Their offense isn't that great. Yeah, they've got AJ Green, and Denzel Ward will be playing, so obviously he'll be guarding AJ Green. I think I could probably give this one to our defense. I don't think I think our defense is also heating up now that we have less people who are injured. Yeah, I think I'm going to give this one to our defense.
I agree. Greg Williams said that during this bye week and after the bye, we are as healthy as we've been since training camp. And that is a really good thing. Granted, we don't have Kirksey. He's out. We don't have Mitchell. He's out. But Randall is huge for us. He's healthy.
And Schobert.
Schobert is back, and that's the one guy you can't have missing in the linebacking core. I really like what we're doing on defense. It's all coming together. That they are playing inspired football right now, and I think they feed off of the offense doing well. These guys are all feeding off of each other doing well. Andy Dalton, he has had some games against the Browns in the last couple of years. They have been big, and they have been good, and he has thrown a lot of touchdown passes, a lot of yards. I am a little bit afraid of him playing well this week against the Browns. However, they seem to be in a bit of a funk. I don't trust that AJ Green is really healthy. I think that'll be a factor. It'll be enough of a factor that I think Ward will easily be able to shut him down this week. I could be wrong. We'll find out. But I'm going to give the edge to the Browns defense as well. I just have a good feeling about it. Now, granted, I don't think the edge is huge.
I said, this one's kind of a flip of a coin. It really could go either way with the defense and offense.
Right. Special teams, who cares? So let's move on to the trifecta picks before we make our Browns and Bengals picks. Last week I was 1-1. That brings my record up to 20-12. And Joey?
I was 0-2. So I'm 17-15. I'm hoping that with these next few weeks, assuming that you don't have the same picks as me, I see what's going on.
That's not what's going on.
I'm
told
just
you
kidding.
last week I'm not
kidding.
changing my picks anymore.
I know. Yeah, I'm just going to hope that the one pick I have different than you this week will be in my favor, and I think it will.
Yeah, well, I hope it is too. I don't mind letting you come back one game next week and making it a little closer if that's true.
But one game every week leads to...
If it's that game, I'm okay, which kind of gives you a clue as to what we're doing with our picks this week. Our sure thing, I'm taking the Chargers over the Cardinals.
I am also taking the Chargers over the Cardinals.
It's at Los Angeles, and San Diego Chargers play really well in their new home of Los Angeles. I said I was never going to call them the LA Chargers. They are the San Diego Chargers. Yeah, they're going to beat the Cardinals. That's a joke. Melvin Gordon's going to run for about 400 yards against that defense. And if he can't, Phillip Rivers is going to destroy them. Antonio Gates, their 56-year-old tight end last week, had 80-some yards and a touchdown. He looked like he was 10. Plus 10, 20 years old again. Underdogs this week. We have the same underdogs as well.
Yeah. Lions over the Bears. I think it'll be Lions.
Yeah. Look, it's Thanksgiving game. The Bears are the better team. Okay. But offensively, the two teams match up.
And it's at Detroit. So
yeah, that's big. Thanksgiving at Detroit. I think that the Lions offense, the Bears offense, they're pretty similar. I think the Bears are without Trubisky today. I could be wrong, but I think they're without Trubisky. That helps a lot. And the thing is, the equalizers, the Bears defense, their defense is so good.
Yeah.
They're really one of the only defenses this season that's any good. Everybody else has got atrocious defense. The Bears have been pretty good. I guess the Browns have been pretty decent, honestly, compared to what else is going on out there in the league.
Yeah.
And the Saints have heated up. Their D is really playing well now. But yeah, I'm taking the Lions over the Bears as well. This is a gut feeling, and it's a Trubisky-less kind of thing. That brings us to our beloved Brownies playing against those Bungles. I'm going to take the Bengals over the Browns, and here's why. After you.
I've got the Browns over the Bengals because I do think that we are the better team here. As you can see, I chose our offense over their defense and our defense over their offense. And special teams doesn't matter. So I think, well, for us it kind of does. I think if we can stop them at least sometimes when they're returning punts, I think we'll win this game.
Yeah, what you said is perfectly logical. And one day that is going to be a deciding factor ultimately when making a pick when it involves the Browns. I'm not 100% there yet. I also took our offense and our defense over their defense and their offense. And you're right, special teams doesn't really matter as long as we're decent, which I believe we will be. We've been getting better. Logic dictates a Browns victory. But here are my reasons why I'm not taking the Browns this week. I am taking the Bengals. A, it's in Cincinnati. B, we're coming off a bye. We tend to, of course, in recent years, we have stunk every week. So to say what I'm about to say, that we tend to stink after bye weeks, is really no different than most weeks. Okay? But we do kind of stink after byes, traditionally. I don't know why. That's a bad thing for me. Another thing is we have not won a road game. I think in 25 opportunities. We've lost 25 straight or maybe 26 straight. We are about to tie the record. If we lose this week, we will tie the record for consecutive road losses held by the same team that we tied last year for the 0-16 record as the worst ever, the Detroit Lions. The Lions had this run of futility from 2007 to 2010, and we are trying to repeat it. I think we will repeat it. I don't see us winning our first road game this week. Also, the Browns have not won consecutive games since 2014, I believe. It might have been 2015, but I think it's 14. So we're coming off a victory. Here is a chance to have a consecutive victory. I must say, I have to take the Bengals. And until the Browns prove, as I've said before with just winning, until the Browns prove they can win a game on the road, and until they prove they can win back-to-back games, you probably are not going to see me taking the Browns in a road game scenario or a back-to-back victory scenario just yet.
I think that I don't think I would compare this year's Browns to past year's Browns because this year is totally different. We have at least somewhat of a real head coach, a great offensive mind, and a real quarterback, along with a real running back and a pretty good defense. I think a lot of records could be broken this week. They will pretty much either way.
Oh, they could kill two birds with one stone here. We can get our consecutive victory. We can break the road losing streak. Your case is a stronger case than mine. Yours is based in reason and logic. And like I said, I agree with what you're saying. However, my gut, which as a Browns fan, you learn to go with your gut. My gut tells me as much as I want it, and I'll be glad to be wrong. I just think the Bengals win this week. Ugh, I hate it, but it's true.
Yeah, I think the fact that it's in Cincinnati, I really don't think that's a huge factor because it's still in Ohio, so it's not that far to travel. I don't think that'll affect the team very much. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Cincinnati, they're not like rabid NFL fans the way we are. So it's not a huge home field advantage there in Cincinnati. It's not like going to Pittsburgh or Baltimore where those are pretty tough places to play. Cincinnati is not that tough a place to play, but there's a comfort level being at home. So I do still think that's a slight advantage. All right, well, those are our picks for this week. Those are our thoughts for this week. Again, we want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. I want to thank all our subscribers for listening. We love talking about the Browns. We hope you feel like you're part of the conversation. Be part of the conversation. Follow and tweet at us on Twitter at Mark C. Moorhead.
Also, if you enjoy the podcast, please consider leaving us a short review on iTunes. Those reviews are essential to the growth of our show and ensure that we'll continue to provide you and many others with excellent content on a regular basis. Until next time, remember, there's no more waiting till next year. Next year is now. Go Browns.
Onward to victory. Here come the Browns. Here come the Browns. The number one Browns. The pride of Cleveland.